My name is Todd Wesche. I am the managing member of Vetis Legal LLC. We help veterans of the United States military get the benefits they deserve out of the VA. Before working with the HTM community, I was a solo practitioner. I had been working for 3 years in my own firm that I started after leaving a rather medium-sized law firm as the managing attorney for a practice group of about 30 people. I decided to strike it out on my own, thinking that I probably knew how to do it as well as they did. And in fact, I think I did. But what I didn't know is how to actually run a business. I knew how to practice the law, but I didn't know how to attract clients. I didn't know how to run a business. I didn't know how to count numbers or make the finances work, or how to grow a team, or how to actually determine whether I'm making a profit, other than I've got money in the bank like a teenager would do. How could I be out of money if I still have checks in my checkbook? When I started the firm, my first year was grossing about $45,000. Without the help of HTM, I managed to get up to $450,000 gross year as a solo. At some point, after talking with my financial advisor, I determined that there was absolutely no way for me to meet my financial goals in retirement of having roughly $7.5 million in the bank that I could retire on unless I grew. And the only way to grow would be to add staff, to do things that I didn't know how to do as a business owner because I didn't know how to run a business. So with the help of HTM and the small law firm university, I have learned a lot of those things about what a SKU is, what a policy system and procedure is, what kinds of things actually make a business profitable and sustainable, as well as being able to run a full business that's growing without losing my mind. In my professional life, before I joined HTM, I was working every day, all day long. I'd wake up in the morning, get breakfast, straight to my desk. Then sometime around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, I decided it was time to go get dinner. My friends and my family rarely saw me. I never went to the movies. I didn't go skiing or do anything outside the house because it's a virtual firm. I run everything from my house. And it was basically an existence where the firm controlled me. I didn't control the firm. After having a substantial mind shift about the way that the firm should work for me, it should generate money for me, I should be able to get time out of the company to go do things that I want to do. I found that I actually leave the business at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday through Friday. I work weekends only if I want to, which is rare. And I actually feel like I can spend more time skiing the slopes or visiting friends or catching a movie that I've never been able to do for the past 4 years running the firm on my own. Mindset's everything. You've got to get out of your own way. And people say it in the HTM all the time that you are your own worst enemy. You will make excuses. Everybody makes excuses for why they have not gotten something done. Oh, I had this disaster happen over here. I don't have the money for that over there. And they always just find an excuse. I found the excuses for not taking the initial steps. Even signing the contract with HTM was a big mind shift to think that I've been successful. A solo practitioner making $400,000 a year is very successful, but that I didn't know how to do it and that I could actually grow bigger, faster, stronger with some help of people who know what's going on. So until you get that mind shift, until you understand that the people at HTM are all here to help you succeed and that their success derives from our success, then you actually have more of a mental ability to accept the other mind shifts you're going to have to accept. That it just is constantly changing the way you view all your preconceived notions. It's always changing the way you view the world around you. Sometimes it's as much as changing the people you actually have around you, from the people who drag you and pull you down to the people who are going to help lift you up. When you sign up for a small law firm university, you get a practice advisor, somebody who will be able to work with you, interface with you, learn about your firm, learn about where you're at in the building of your firm, your revenues, your clients, your intakes, your goals, your wants, needs, desires, your staffing, how many processes and procedures in place, what kinds of revenues you're generating. Those kinds of things will help build the initial idea of what classes would be the most beneficial for you to take the next step. It might be building a policy systems procedures. It might be learning how to build a business plan. And for me, I'd ran the firm for 4 years without a business plan. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who's done that. So to sit down and actually realize, hey, I can actually document the business plan, document my goals, set timeframes for when these things will be done, and be held accountable to my business advisor or my practice advisor to make sure these things get done. And it's not just you doing it on your own. They give you templates, they give you classes, they give you videos, they give you one-on-one help sessions if you need them. You get at least one 90-minute session with you, just your practice advisor, talking about your practice, as well as weekly group sessions where you can talk about the wants, needs, and desires, the conflicts, the difficulties that everybody in the program is having simultaneously, and you can all work with each other and be inside the bubble, which is where we all help each other get better at what we're doing. The one thing I did not appreciate when I joined HTM was the value of the community of people who are part of HTM and part of the Small Law Firm University. It's not just the staff. It's not just the people we're paying to support us. It's the people who are paying HTM as members of the community. It's the people that have all joined in to what we call very affectionately the bubble. It is a no asshole, no judgment zone where you can go ask the questions that you're afraid to ask anybody else. You can hear other people's success stories and their failures and how they got past those failures and how they got to their successes. And they will work with you and give you ideas and tips. They'll tell you who to go to for a vendor because they've used that vendor before, or even who to avoid. They will give you marketing ideas you may never have thought of before. They'll give you ideas of how to network with somebody else who's in the community who does something that's an ancillary product to your services. You might do product A and they do product B, and you can network with each other and refer cases to each other. It's just amazing the kind of support and community, and really we are our own little, you have to say it's a bubble. Inside this bubble, you get all the support you could possibly ever want, and then some. And it's not always support you want to hear. Sometimes it's the hard truths. But it's the hard truths that you don't want to hear that cause you to grow. And you have to make a decision when you hear it. Do I do something with that, or do I stay stagnant where I'm already at? And the bubble, if you need help getting over that stagnation, to make that decision, to make that change, the bubble is here to help you make it. Doing it alone, I was alone. I had nobody to bounce ideas off of. I didn't know how stressed out I was. I did, but I didn't. Comparatively speaking, HTM and the number crunching and the practice advising that I got gave me the confidence to hire an associate. So I'm no longer a solo. Gave me the confidence to realize that my finance was good enough to hire an assistant. So now I have 3 people in my firm where 8 months ago there's just me. I've been able to offload 85% of my production work. So I'm not doing most of my legal work. I'm doing business building, I'm doing networking, I'm doing referrals, I'm doing consultation calls. I'm doing the other parts of the business, but I'm not getting my hands dirty in the legal work, which means that I'm not beholden to deadlines. My associate is. I'm not answering the frontline phone calls. My receptionist is. So I can do the things that I need to do to grow my business while my team is taking care of everything else. I have days that I can end at 5 o'clock at night. I go spend time with my family and friends, and I don't feel guilty about it at all. My favorite thing, I have to admit, is that, and it probably happened at the last LQM actually, where Arjan had made some comment about lifestyle and how the best way you know you're making successes is when you decide what you want to do, make the arrangements for doing it, and then figure out how much it costs. You're not beholden to the dollar sign first to determine how you're going to live your life. You're deciding how you're going to live your life because you have the cash flow and the resources, the support structures, the systems, the firm all in place and operating just the way you want it to work, so that you can go off and do what you want to do when you want to do it at whatever price point it is to do it at, and not worry about it. Flying first class to the LQMs or vacation. Heard a story yesterday about a guy who was able to take his son on a baseball trip to go see the Atlanta Braves going into the playoffs, that he just able to just go, hey, let's go. And they just flew first class and did it spur of the moment. I don't know how many people out there who aren't wildly successful in their firms, who are comfortable with the fact that their firm is working for them instead of them working for their firm, that they can do that. I took a black car shuttle over here from the airport. I took first-class flight from my home city, and I didn't think twice about it. And that is the most freeing feeling, I think, is that I'm now finally able to live the life I want to live instead of living the life of sitting at my desk running a law firm.